Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network. We are excited to have Expanding Heart Tarot joining us here today, the owner and the woman herself, Kaye Ashbridge, joining us live here today, talking about the work she does to really help people like you out there listening or watching today seek clarity. So she offers not only tarot readings, but really numerology, astrology, and so much more. First and foremost, welcome to the show today. How are you?
Thank you, Jill. I'm doing so well. I'm so happy to be here. Thank you for the invitation.
Well, it's great. I can see the energy. You look great. You feel great. And you're awesome. I already got to look into you a little bit about your background, and I'm excited for our listeners to get to know you and, of course, talk more about the work you're doing. Let me just mention the website off the top. It's expandinghearttarot.com, correct?
Correct. Yes,
And
that's
is there
me.
any social media pages you want people to follow you on or a phone number you want them to contact you?
People can contact me at my email address directly, and that is the initial K at expandinghearttarot.com.
Beautiful.
You can get a hold of me directly. I answer every single email that comes through, and you can contact me through my booking page on my website, and I respond to every single inquiry.
Well, thank you so much. And by the way, you're based out of, is it Nevada, Mesquite, Nevada? I'm not sure where that is. Tell me.
Yeah, Mesquite, Nevada. We're about 80 miles southeast of Las Vegas,
Perfect. See, you've got to
right?
put it central. Like, everyone's like, oh, you're from New York. New York. Yes, well, New York City. But no, I live an hour east on Long Island, but same concept. Thank you for sharing that. But you're working with
Right.
people here all over the world. And let's
Mhm.
get down to it. I mean, with the readings you offer, so you are considered, do I call you a psychic? Do I call you a medium? What do I describe you as?
Well, all of that, but I refer to myself as an intuitive tarot reader. Clairvoyance, that word covers intuition, it covers mediumship,
Yes.
being able to work through spirit. I kind of view myself as a self-developed mystic. I've spent so much time alone and with spirit and figuring out what these gifts are and what to do with them. First, by helping myself overcome a lot of childhood trauma, anxiety. I lived alone from the age of 14 till my 21st year. And I worked a couple of jobs, but I spent a lot of time alone. So meditation and contemplation. And I'll tell you, tarot, tarot was always a very dear friend of mine. I started connecting with it at a very young age, and I didn't know how, but I could dialogue with the cards and find answers to my
Ah.
internal questions.
Well, I read about, your lifetime of knowingness, you said, right? And I
Right.
know as a young boy, I didn't know all these struggles, but I would love for you to share them with us. And how did you, get here? How did you discover you had this gift and talent? And if you don't mind sharing a little bit about your, knowingness and about that struggle as a young child, I would love to hear it because it makes you the person who you are. And clearly you were giving a gift. Could you just share that story?
Gosh, yeah. Honestly, I didn't really know that I didn't know that I was really different than others. I just knew what I knew. And
Mm-hmm.
my early life was really all about survival.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
didn't understand until I reached into my 20s
Ah,
that I was really triggered and I was really reactive.
yeah.
And I wanted to learn to be more calm and not be so difficult. I mean, I was just, things seemed to be so difficult and so hard. And I just kept feeling like this connection and that it shouldn't be this hard. And so I
Yeah.
really trusted, and I would reach out
Wow.
and kind of like, I always felt this connection like I was tethered to something higher than myself. And that
Mm-hmm.
was my saving grace during a lot of childhood trauma and abandonment, that kind of stuff, commitment anxiety. Oh my goodness. I was kind of a mess. And, this was long before we had the internet or,
Oh, yes, of
you know,
course.
so I was just figuring out, and I found tarot at a very young age, and I didn't know what it was, but I saw someone from a distance reading, and I was so drawn and so
Wow.
fascinated. I just carried that through. Anyway, I figured out a lot of my own healing through reading things like Carl Jung and Edgar Casey
Yeah.
and reading about metaphysics and learning to
Wow.
meditate. And so as I grew and matured and had the mental capacity to understand
Capacity.
what I'd been through and emotional maturity, I was able to really go through some serious healing and come out the other side with all the blessings that happen when we come through a challenge and we reach the other side. And so somewhere around 8 or 10 years ago, I gained enough confidence to throw myself out to the world and say, hey, here I am. This is what
Ah,
I do. How can I help?
wow. And you're really
Yeah.
helping those people out there connect the dots in a sense. And this is
Mm-hmm.
amazing. Truly you have a calling and it's beautiful you're here to help. And you say it's like reading between the lines with your heart. You can feel what another is feeling. This is what,
Yeah.
she told us in her notes. I could see the pieces they leave out of their story. I hear what their soul is seeking. So this is beautiful work you're doing and you're here
Mm-hmm.
helping so many. And I want to talk, I know, about the three specific aspects of your work today, starting with you're reading tarot intuitively. And as a self-developed psychic and mystic, what are some of the things that people can expect from working with you?
Oh, yeah. So it's so interesting. People are divine beyond what they actually realize. And so I get all kinds of people, and most of them I've never met before. So
Wow.
they come and sit with me, and
Mm-hmm.
I have a way of, um, because I'm very sensitive, and then I've taught myself to be an empath, meaning that I don't just feel things and they just hit me, but I've learned to discern where my energy ends and your energy begins. And then only with permission, I
Wow.
ask the querent, the person who comes to me for help, I ask for permission to actually reach their higher self and bring back information from them to them. And it might seem a little freaky or fringy, but when somebody relaxes into it and they feel safe with me,
Yeah.
it's amazing what will open up.
Oh,
And I hear this term a lot. You knew things that you shouldn't have known about me. And I'll tell you, it's not that I'm digging around
wow.
and invading anyone's
Yeah.
privacy, not by any means, never. That is not
Yeah.
good hygiene. That's not good psychic hygiene. So I always
Ah,
ask for permission because it's not something I do to you, not really exactly even for you, but with you
yeah.
because we're
Together.
connected. Yeah. And so I establish that connection with the permission of my querent, and
Okay.
that allows me to really open up and feel them. And I can feel what it is that they feel or what they have felt. And I can get the like impressions and actual feelings in my body,
Wow.
what they do, without taking that on as my own and without draining them of their energy. So it's a self
Beautiful.
thing, and it works. It does work beautifully.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. And I just want to urge everyone to go to that website, expandinghearttarot.com. So
Yes.
you're here doing, tarot readings. And I know today you mentioned you're actually going to do one for me. You'll pull a card at some
Mhm.
point, which is awesome.
Yes.
I'm so about
Yes.
this and believing in this. But before we get to that, I mean, I want to talk more about some of your clients, because clearly you have rave reviews and people love coming to you. For example, Linda Victoria, British Columbia says, I consider Kay one of the most beautiful, impactful coaches I've had in my
Oh,
life. I just received my second annual tarot year scope, and I'm very excited to engage with this over the next 12 months. Last year's
yeah.
report was the gift that kept on giving. As I read and reread this over the months, Kay has always been there alongside me as well to explore shifts in energy and to focus and to challenge me to step into new ways of thinking and doing as I
Yeah.
face very challenging life circumstances. I am so grateful to have her in my life, and I'm certain that anyone who chooses to work with her will feel the same. And that's one of many reviews, and people just raving about your sensitivity, your insightfulness, and that you take the time to truly understand their questions, their situation, and really you're just a calm in so many people's life, and really that conduit in a sense to helping them with tarot. This is beautiful.
It is beautiful.
Oh,
Yes. And along with tarot, I use numerology.
yes, yes. I
I
was going to ask you about that too. Yes.
I always okay. So when I started in my teens reading cards, I was reading playing cards, and I was connecting the numbers to the vibration that I would feel from the number.
Okay.
And I always had this memory of seeing someone reading tarot in about my 13th year, but I didn't know what it was. But I could never stop thinking about
Oh,
that. So playing with cards, it kind of opened something up in me. And when I got my first tarot deck, I just began dialoguing with those cards, honestly, some of them scared me. Some of them, I would look at them, they would scare me. They would bring a visceral reaction, but not scary enough to run away. Scary enough to say, why does this scare me? What is it about this card? Is there a message deeper that I'm hiding from myself?
Mm-hmm.
What don't I want to see? And the more we can integrate our dark shadows into our being and
Yep.
integrate who we are, the more those
Wow.
bright shadows come out. And when the bright shadows come out, that allows us to be our authentic self. And that leads us to great joy and happiness, being our authentic selves.
Amazing. Because, and how does tarot work? How does numerology work? What are the people expecting on this side of it, right? What are some
Yeah.
of the types of things that you can, also oracle cards, what are some of these
Mm-hmm.
things that people can discover? Is it about their present, their past, their future, all the above?
Everything like that. So with numerology is a science, right?
Okay.
The way I like to describe it to my clients is that when we're born into this lifetime, the cosmos are in a certain pattern. And when we come into whatever number we're born into,
Yeah.
we vibrate and we have a resonance and a frequency of that number. And that number itself offers
Yeah.
gifts and challenges. So I use the Pythagorean method of numerology, and that is taking your birthday, birth year, and month, adding those numbers, the long old math, and then getting it to the base sum of one digit. And that digit between 1 or 9 has its own resonance. And those resonances really offer what our gifts and challenges are in life. And I
Wow.
do this in a combination with tarot, especially for new clients, because the numbers really help understand
Mm-hmm.
part of our life path destiny.
Yeah.
And then looking at it through the archetype of
Wow.
the tarot helps describe the types of events and the types of lessons that come from that number that you're born into. So this is really fascinating to me always, and to everyone. I overlap uh, the zodiac astrology as
Okay.
well. And I lean into that. But more than that, I lean into the numerology, and the very most is tarot. Tarot
Oh.
is my absolute passion.
Wow. Oh, well, this is exciting to find out how it all works and how it's all integrated. And at this time, we're, about halfway through. So I just want to remind everyone how they can reach out to you to book that session.
Yes, expandinghearttarot.com. I'm Kaye Ashbridge, and my direct email is the letter K at expandinghearttarot.com. And people can book directly through me. People can book through my website. Anyone who reaches out to me, I will always reach back on the same day. So, yeah. And, it's interesting because I'm busy and I have a lot of clients that are scheduled and I have a lot of regulars that come back, periodically. But I often get that call or that text or that email that says, "Can you squeeze me in? I've got
Ah,
something going on." And to me that is it's kind of like a psychic 911.
yeah.
I got something going on. I don't know where to turn, or something really confusing is happening in my head. Can you help me see some clarity? So I always do my best to clear time for people who are saying, I really need help now. You know, it's important. So, and I'll tell you what, Jill, through what I do, I have met so many amazing people and made some really long-term friendships as well.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Amazing. Well, what else did you want to share next?
I also, because I'm in a really quaint little town here, I offer my services at in-home parties, and I call them tarot parties. So I
It's
literally
so
have
cool.
women will contact me and say, I'm having a birthday for my best friend next Saturday, and there's going to be 5 of us. Will you come and do tarot readings from us and for us? And so
Yep.
usually I'll do them in a separate room, one on
Mm-hmm.
one, maybe 20 to 30 minutes.
Wow.
And it's true that a lot of people might be a little bit nervous about tarot. And
Yeah.
if the tarot makes them nervous, I can always use oracle cards. And it's amazing how people can be afraid of a card, but when it's called an oracle card, they really lean into it. So,
Interesting.
but if somebody ever tells me, I'm really uncomfortable with this, it's not my gig, it doesn't mesh with my religious beliefs, or it's
Mm-hmm.
against something
Yeah.
I've been taught,
Yeah.
I will never try to force it on anyone or talk them into it. I simply respect it, and that's okay. And if someday they choose differently, I'll be here for them without judgment.
Beautiful. Well, thank you for
Yeah,
sharing that. Also, I read on the website before you have some workshops coming up in
I
September.
do. I
So you're
do.
also
So,
teaching this. Explain, could you tell us a little bit about that?
well, I started teaching tarot about a year ago because many of my clients, again and again, I would hear, you know, I have a tarot deck, but I really don't know what to do with it. Or, oh, I would love to do tarot. Someone gave me a deck. Or, I pull a card a day, but I don't really understand how to interpret
Yeah.
it. So I started teaching tarot. And
Hmm.
it's a 3 week, it's a 3 series course, 2 hour workshops. We get into what the tarot is, what the history is about it, teaching about the minor arcana. Tarot is 78 cards in a deck.
Okay.
There's the minor arcana and the major arcana. And
Okay.
arcana means secrets. So they're the big secrets and the little secrets. And the little secrets have to do with our day to day lives, kind of the mundane things. But the major arcana, those are the milestones in our lives that we hit, and also the spiritual advancement that we take, that our soul takes on in this lifetime. So we go through that. The tarot courses really help people unfold and develop their own intuition. So I'm teaching them about the tarot, how to work with their intuition. And the second course, we really talk about the major arcana, or excuse me, the court cards. And have you ever heard of the Myers-Briggs testing, personality testing?
No, I have not. Myers-Briggs, tell me.
Myers-Briggs. I bet a lot of our listeners know what
Okay,
Myers-Briggs
okay.
is. So this is a kind of a corporate HR thing. It's been around for over 60 years, and it's the number one way that corporations measure the leaders they have within their organizations. So there are 4 types of emotions that they look for, and then they put those 4 types into 4 plugs, if you will, and they can determine what kind of a personality
Person
you
you
are.
are.
Whether you're a
Wait, so
leader,
they're doing this
follower.
during the interview process or after the fact? Like,
This is usually what a corporation will do after they have people hired so they can find who their leaders are. Okay.
wow.
And it's interesting that in the Myers-Briggs system, there are 16 personality types. In tarot's court cards, there are 16 court cards. So oftentimes I look at the court cards and that Myers-Briggs comes up and I think, oh, here we have an intuitive, here we have the doer, here we have the hold it together. So all of these different modalities, they really come together and they all fascinate me. So,
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
yeah, yeah. I think I got a little bit off track. The third
That's
workshop,
okay.
we talk about the major arcana and really go through individually what each card represents. So during my workshops, they're all in person. I'll figure out how to do them online. But right now, I've been doing them in person and the classes get pretty full. So that comes again in September. And then in October, I'm offering intermediate workshops to work with our 7 in body chakras. And I
Ooh,
use chakra energy a lot in my readings, especially when it's a mediumistic reading where I'm
okay.
reading into someone about their past loved ones. And so the chakras for me come online during that time a lot. Colors, impressions, feelings. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Wow. All right. Well, let me ask, I mean, some of the, how does it work to do a tarot reading? Like for today, if you pull a card, what you're going to, what do I have to do? What does the person on the other side have to do, think, feel? How does it work? Some people might have anxiety. Like I think, I have anxiety,
Yeah.
about this process. Yeah, let's work through it. Can we do it? This is great.
So many times people say, I'd really love to have a reading, but I'm nervous. I don't want to hear bad news. Or I'm really afraid of what I'm going to hear. Now, is this coming from someone who knows they need to make a change in their life and they're afraid to hear someone else say it?
Hmm.
Or is it coming because someone really has anxiety? Are you looking through me? What do you see about me? Or I just simply don't understand and it scares me.
Yeah.
So when someone comes to sit with me for a reading, the person sitting with me is called the querent, and
Okay.
and and I'm the reader. So that person sitting with me, they can ask me a direct question if they choose, or they can be quiet and just allow me to ask their permission to reach to their higher self and bring the messages through. And then we do a little kind of a meditation to calm and relax. And once they give me the permission, I start feeling into their energy, and then we start going. Uh, Honestly, Jill, I almost never know exactly what's going to happen. With some clearance, I will get information from their past loved ones right away. Or maybe empathically, I feel into some kind of an event that happened in their life and they're still carrying that around, and maybe I can help them to release some things. Sometimes this all happens before I even start turning the cards over. The cards always come in, and then we get deeper details. And because of this, oftentimes I would have people come back, and then maybe they want to come every week. Or so I started doing coaching, and it's kind of transformational coaching through tarot. So instead of having a card reading again and again, the same information is going to keep coming. I offer people a place to vent and question and talk, and then I can provide practical ways to move through what their blocks are, what their challenges are, based on the experience that I had in helping myself move through my own challenges in life.
Beautiful, Kay. Wow.
Yeah.
This is inspiring. This is deep. I love it. Kay Ashbridge, by the way, if you are just tuning in, I want to remind everyone that you can reach out to her. Go to expandinghearttarot.com. That's expandinghearttarot.com. You could book your session there. And we still have 8 minutes left in the show. So, what
Okay.
else did you want to talk about? Anything yet?
Jill, I want to pull a card for you. So, what I'm going to do right here, I'm centering myself. I
Okay.
really enjoy your company so much. You know, everything is energy and spirit. So, even though there's a screen between us, there's really nothing between us.
Yeah, I
And
feel
so,
it.
I invite you, Jill, just to take a second and relax yourself. Kind of
Mm.
move those ears a little further away from your shoulders. Let your shoulders relax. And let's take a couple of breaths. And I invite you to think about something that's on your mind. It can be a question, it can be that you're looking for something going on that you might not see. Just think about that, Jill. And whew, with your permission, I would like to reach up to your higher self and bring down any information that you have. And I will act as your messenger, a message from you to you through me. Do I have your permission?
Yes, you do. Thank you.
Oh, beautiful. All right. I have got the major arcana here in the Rider Waite tarot deck, and I'm fanning them out here. I'm going to pull one card for you, Jill. So you be thinking about what your question or inquiry is about. Topic, person, place. Okay, are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, we're going to pull this card here. Oh my gosh. So what we have for you is the Ace of Pentacles.
Okay.
Okay, so the Ace of Pentacles, this has to do with the earth element. So this is physicality, this is materialism. These are things in your life that have to do with your physicality. It could be your home, it can be career, family. It can have to do with money and the way that you make money. And with an ace, that's the number one. So this is an opportunity coming right in front of you. So if you're
Okay.
trying to decide about, it could be a move or a career change or advancement, or maybe there's some schooling that you're wondering if you should add to your list of things. This is something about, it actually could be a physical move in your life, moving somewhere. And
Wow.
the ace brings the vibration that you will be successful, and that the choice that is in front of you, it's like a new path, new opportunities that you're looking at, that you're deciding maybe which way to go or how to incorporate these opportunities. You will be successful. So there's a really something high vibing in your physical world for advancement for you personally and professionally. How does that
Thank you.
feel to you?
Amazing. Like spot on because I'm gonna cry because I'm struggling with something right now and it has to do with career, with work, and I have two little kids to support and I'm scared and I know I need to take a different path and I just things aren't I can't even. If I told you what
Okay,
happened in my life yesterday, you would lose it. And I was up all night, upset, crying, like, what am I going to do? I have two little kids and I'm a single mom. And I'm like, oh, Jill, you could do it. You're going to work this out. It's
you are going to work this out. This is going to be this challenge that you're feeling, that is, it's rocking you and it
yes,
feels a little shattering. what's going to come as you move through it. You can't go around it. You're going to have to go through it, girl. You go
Okay.
through it and you're going to come out on the other side victorious, better than you were. You could trust in yourself. I'm getting, we say goosebumps. I say spirit bumps. I'm getting spirit bumps all over, and they're cheering you on. They're cheering you on to trust and know that you're going to be okay. And I'm pulling another card here because I was called to pull another card. This is the Fool. This is taking you on a new path. So trust yourself, because this is a leap of faith. The Fool card is 0. Potentiality is everywhere around you. So dream big, dream big. Do not limit yourself. And Jill, don't play small. You play big and take those risks. Now, you are very practical, so you're going to make sure that they're calculated risks.
Yeah.
You're going to take those risks and you're going to kick some ass. You're going to boss yourself up and you are going to take that leap and you're going to be better than you even imagined. And I can feel it. Oh my God, I'm so happy to meet you and bring this message to you.
I
You're
needed
there.
you. I needed you. Everything is all meant to be
Oh.
like this. How did we end up together on this show? You were just so, I mean, amazing. And you do this for so many people. And I'm just so grateful that you just took a moment for me to do this. It means so much because I had a really bad day yesterday and today, and I'm panicking, I'm nervous, but I feel like I know I could do it, but I'm scared.
Can
And
I tell you what the third card you got? It's the Ace of Cups. This is love. This is emotion. This is your feelings and how you emote. And this is, if you look very closely, you can see that is like the Holy Grail. And you see those yellow like dots coming down from
yeah,
the
yeah,
from the
yeah.
heavens. Those are called yods. Those are blessings from Spirit telling you, I've got you. Beautiful divine child, I've got you. Trust, trust. It's okay.
And I
Oh my
feel
gosh.
my mother passed 7 years ago. So I feel like she's with me pulling this together and she's always going to make sure I'm okay.
Yes, and keep leaning into that.
Right?
Keep leaning into what comforts you is Spirit reminding you who you are.
Yeah.
And there's a lot about our ancestors, right? Your mother is now your ancestor.
Yeah.
And when once we pass, we will be ancestors to those we know. So your ancestors are around you. And this card, the Ace of Water, water is our emotional element, and this is how we connect with others and even with Spirit. So your mom has got your back as well as the universe.
Amazing. Amazing. Wow.
I'm going to be following up with you because I want to hear how well you're doing in the
Thank
coming
you. I
days,
appreciate
weeks, and
that.
months.
Are we back again together next week? Are you back for more shows?
No, not at this point, but I
Oh,
have a
okay.
that will be.
But all right. Well, I hope so. And on social media, are you available on social media to follow? Do you have that set up or?
I do Instagram and really through my website and in person. I love people in person, but I read for anyone anywhere in the world via Zoom. And again, I get back to everyone every day, even around the world. So yeah, I'm available. And it is my calling to help others, to be of service to others. And it is the biggest joy I could
I
ever.
see it in your face clearly. And can I ask, what do you do for you? Is this what you
I,
do for you, or do you have any
mhm.
you time? What happens when you're
When I
off?
have, oh, I'm never off. When I have me time is lighting a candle, lighting some incense, getting on my yoga mat. I do moving meditation. Sometimes I
Beautiful.
find myself in the same pose for 15 minutes, and I've just been connecting with Spirit. I breathe in Spirit through my crown. I connect to the earth. I share it back down to Mother Earth. I bring it back up from the earth, grounding myself, and share it back up
Beautiful.
to my spiritual council so that there's
Beautiful.
always this connection and flow. So my me time is studying more tarot, learning about tarot,
Wow.
working
You
with
are so
others,
selfless. You give to so many. I just want to make sure you're okay and you're filling up your cup too, like my
always.
Holy Grail cup. Good.
Right.
Well, thank you for being so amazing and inspiring to myself today, to our listeners, and to all those people you're affecting worldwide. Kay Ashbridge, it's been an honor, and I will keep in touch and tell us how we can reach out to you for someone who wants to book a session.
Book a session with me, go to expandinghearttarot.com and you can find out how to contact me. You can get on my newsletter. You can send me an email at the letter K at Expanding Heart Tarot. I'm Kay Ashbridge, K at Expanding Heart Tarot. I answer those emails
Beautiful.
all the time.
And if you Google
And
her, just to let you know how to spell her name, it's Kaye. And then Ashbridge, just want to make sure they know Ashbridge.
that's
Thank you
right.
so
And
much. And on Instagram, how do we find you?
it's the Kaye Ashbridge. And then I
Beautiful.
also have, you can find me on Google.
Yep.
So I'm just Google Expanding Heart Tarot Kaye Ashbridge.
Will do. Thank you so much. Pleasure. And you made my day today. I can't even, I'm going to cry again. You really have made my day.
It's been my
Thank
pleasure, Jill.
you. My family thanks you. My kids thank you.
Oh.
Thank you. Really, you really resonated today in a lot of ways. Thank you.
My
Wow.
pleasure.
Okay. I don't cry too often on these, but thank you so much. We'll talk soon. Thank you. You're blessed. Blessed. Thank you so much. Bye bye, honey.
Bye-bye. Oh my gosh.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network. Hi. Okay, so we're off air. Thank you so much. I never have time to talk to anyone. I usually go right to another show, but I had a cancellation. So I just want to really thank you from the bottom of my heart for.
You are so welcome. You know what, Jill? You know how to get a hold of me. You can get a hold of me directly and we can book a Zoom reading, and it would be my pleasure to give it to you complimentary.
Thank you so much. You have a fantastic day. I'll be in touch, okay?
You too,
Thank you
beautiful.
so much, beautiful.
Bye-bye.
You too. I just have to say a word at the same time. We're connected. Bye, hon. Aw. Bye, sweetie. Thank you. Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.